Hello, Dennis Campbell with Chem-Dry of Allen County, where we clean for your health like no one else can. At Chem-Dry of Allen County, we service 7 of the counties that make up the greater Fort Wayne metro area, or to a large degree, the corners in the northeast corner of the state. Today's objective is to get some good information out there for spot and stain removal, what you as the individual in charge of a facility are trying to take care of your residential home, some things that you can do, some things that you can count on for a consistent result. There's a lot of bad information out there, and that's why today we really just, it's not the perfect video, that's not the goal. Scruffy beard, not the best lighting, but hopefully just a good enough video quality to keep things interesting and not be too distracting. But today's the day to get the information out there, because we've seen enough of what happens with misinformation or wrong information, and the frustration for people trying to take care of spots and stains. And some of that's because there's a lot of confusion around spots and stains, and just so one point real quick, just want to get it out there, there's actually a difference between a spot and a stain, and that's some of the confusion, because people, normal people like you out there watching this video, you talk about spots and stains like they're the same thing, and really a spot is a discoloration or something that's on the outside of your carpet fiber or the fiber, and a stain is actually something that's inside of the fiber. It's not on the outside, and the difference is that a spot can generally be cleaned and removed with a chemical and a mechanical process, where a stain is actually penetrated into the dyes of the thing, into the dye sites, and you are not going to remove that with the conventional means that a person in their home or business is going to have. And then a compound stain is a discoloration that's in and out of the fiber, and we'll talk about that, but we'll also talk about product selection. A really key principle here is that like dissolves like. So when you have a water-based spot, because that's usually what you're working on, you're going to want to use a water-based spot remover. And when you have a encounter an oil-based or a solvent-based spot, you need to be using a solvent or an oil-based spotter. If you try to use a water-based spotter on a solvent spot or an oily spot, you're just going to get frustrated, and we see it every day. Likewise, or conversely, if you try to use a grease and oil spotter on a water-based spot, grease and oil don't mix, people. I'm not making this stuff up. It's a fundamental principle. So we have to observe these principles, or we're just going to get frustrated. And we're going to get some good information into your hands, because enough is enough. And I mean, my goodness, I've seen people use bleach on their carpet, and they got it on the internet. Now, the internet, we all know, is a wonderful thing. But the problem really is that there's partial information, or in the moment, the information that you're reading might apply in a certain limited scope or context, but it doesn't apply universally. And so when you're outside of that scope or context, you're in for trouble. Just like with the spots and stain situation I previously described here, and trying to use a solvent-based product on a water-based spot, or a water-based spotter on a solvent-based or an oily spot. So we're going to talk a little bit about some products, and we're going to talk a little bit about their use. We're going to talk a little bit about the product selection. Again, like dissolves like. So for 75% or so of what happens out there, coffee, tea, milk, orange juice, blood, wine, these are water-based types of things. Soda is a big one. Toothpaste could even be one. And then solvent-based, example of a solvent-based would be like fingernail polish. Oil would seem sort of self-explanatory. It's typically stuff that comes in out of the garage. Oil and grease, tar, these types of things. But it can come from cooking oils in the air, and a number of other things. And then certain products like butter, I would even say probably mustard, are a little bit of a compound situation. And then we're not going to get into it a lot today. I'm just going to touch on it briefly. Fiber identification can really play a role here. On most modern synthetic carpets, these spotting products we're going to talk about are going to work just fine for you, whether it's a residential or a commercial setting. Some things to watch out for is if you're dealing with upholstery, there's a lot more to watch out for, and you want to really know what the fabric is beforehand, or to cautiously test an area indiscreetly in a place you're not going to see before attempting to use any of these products. And lastly, there's a lot of rugs out there, and there's a lot of synthetic rugs that these products will work great on. There's a few natural fiber rugs that these products can work on as well. One has to be very careful about that. You don't really want to take your $16,000 wool rug or your $2,000 or $800 rug and start experimenting with products on them. Having said that, point I'd like to really make is if you got a sisal rug, which is made from grass, water's not good for these products. You're going to read different things on the internet, and they might lead you to believe that you can work on spots on that sisal rug. I'm going to advise you not to attempt to work on spots on the sisal rug. And likewise, there's some rugs made out of Velcro, a product made from wood pulp, and likewise, they don't clean up well. They're not really made for you and I to do spot and stain removal on. So, if you're in your home, and again, for the most part, we're talking about water-based spots, specifically spots and not stains, I'm going to use my products. Now, Chem-Dry has some wonderful products, and I have them just here off camera. So, here are some of our spot removal products. These are all cans of our world-famous spot remover, and I'm going to go over a couple of them here briefly in just a moment. These are available. I'm not really here to sell you something. I'm really here to train you on something, but all of my training centers around these products, I know what they'll do. There's a lot of bad products out there. One of the things you'll notice on these is they got a little symbol right down here, and that's from the Carpet and Rug Institute, and that's important because the Carpet and Rug Institute does a test on spotters and cleaning equipment and cleaning efficiencies, if you will. And when they started doing this test, they ran down to the local store and purchased 25 or 26 or so spotting products. And they run 4 basic tests on them. I'm not going to get into all the tests. I just want to talk about the first one for a moment. The first is does it clean better than water? And out of those 25 products, they only had 5 or 6 that actually clean better than water. So just a note of caution. There's a lot of products out there in the store ranging in a variety of prices, but a lot of them just frankly aren't very good at removing spots and stains. They're no better than water. So that's just something to keep in mind, and for it to have the Carpet and Rug seal of approval on there means that it's good for your carpet, and it means that it cleans better than water, and that it doesn't leave things in your carpet, and it doesn't cause the fibers to wear prematurely. So again, there's really 4 criteria, and you can go look those up at the Carpet and Rug Institute or the CRI website. That's not what we're here to discuss today. So these are basically the same product inside of our world famous spot remover. One is an inverted can, and the other is like a fire extinguisher can. So with the little fire extinguisher can with the blue trigger, if this is my spot, I'm going to hold this about a foot or so away from my spot. I'm going to pull the blue trigger. It's going to release the product. And I'm going to start outside of my spot and work inside. And then I'm going to blot up. After I've left that product on there for about 30 seconds and I've covered my spot, I'm going to blot that up, preferably with a white cotton towel or something like that. Another thing you can do is take a stack of just paper towels and just kind of blot or press them down with your foot. What you want to avoid is scrubbing very hard. That's a really bad idea. You can blossom your carpet. You can actually damage the fibers, this type of thing. So avoid that. What I tell a lot of my technicians is if you're going to apply force to it, first of all, it's recommended that you blot, which is a downward pressure and not a side-to-side mechanical pressure. But if you are going to do some scrubbing, you want to have a soft towel, a soft cotton towel, and you want to pretend in your mind like it's an egg and not a boiled egg, an egg that would break, and just enough pressure that you don't break the egg is a good starting point for that. Now this is the same product, the world famous spot remover, but in this case this is an inverted can. So you want to hold the can upside down or inverted and apply it on the product in a similar manner to as we just described. But if you hold it like this and pull the thing, you're going to release the propellants into the air, and the product is going to stay in the can to be trapped in there forever once the propellant's gone. So with the inverted can, you want to make sure you're inverted. 45 degrees is okay. Anything like this is honestly, you're just going to release the propellant and the product will be gone. Now, you're not really going to be effective trying to get stains, bona fide stains out of your carpet, but a good water-based pre-spray is our supercharger. We use this on upholstery. It's a good carpet spotter for small spots, smaller spots, and not for going all throughout the house pre-spraying. It's good on carpet and upholstery. It's another product you'd want to test first. It's got the inverted can, and basically I'm just going to put it down and apply my product to my spot and give it a little dwell time. I will tell you one thing with the like dissolves like principle. When you're on the right path, you usually know it right away because the spotter works, the pre-spray works. When things aren't working, that is your first indicator that you're trying to work outside of these principles, and that you're probably just going to load up a bunch of products and get frustrated. I'm not going to delve into it much today. Urine is a very special problem in carpet. It doesn't happen too much in the commercial world. Certainly you people out there in the residential world are dealing with it a lot, and occasionally in our other world too, because people have incontinence as well. This is a good odor urine treatment if you can catch it in the first 0 to 72 hours. Most of our competitors' products are enzyme treatments, and this will do a nice job in the first 72 hours like those enzyme treatments. It really doesn't address some other issues, and I'm going to make another video on urine because it's such a good example of this is not a good project to do yourself. And lastly for today, I want to talk about our grease and oil remover. This is really good on the greasy spots. This will help you in your commercial world or your residential world with pre-treatment of a greasy or an oily spot. You would do this first, or a solvent-based spot, and then after you've done this, you can do your world-famous spot remover and kind of finish up the project. As a fabric care specialist, as a professional in the carpet and upholstery and rug cleaning business, I can tell you that I have other products, and I have products that can work on the dyes, but those products I'm forbidden to offer to you because, frankly, you'll ruin your carpet with it, and you'll do it rather quickly. That's why sometimes you just have to hire a professional. Not here to sell you anything. Again, for today, what I'd like you to get is there is a difference between a spot and a stain. And if you, as a person using spotting products, are trying to get out a stain, you're just going to probably get very frustrated and possibly damage the fabric permanently and make the stain permanent as well. The odds of you getting that stain out are not too good. But a spot, yes, it's on the outside of the fiber. It's completely realistic to be able to do that, to expect to be able to do that. And always keep in mind, like dissolves like. So I want to use a water-based spotter on my water-based spot, and a solvent-based or an oil-based spotter on my solvent and oily-based spots. And if I get those two mixed up or configured or apply the wrong ones, the first indicator is going to be that it just seems like this spot remover isn't doing anything. And that's a big red flag, because indeed it's true. It's actually making it harder for when you come along to do the right thing to get it out. I hope this helps a little bit. For help or with these products, drop us a line, give us a call, hit up our website, reach out, especially our customers or future customers. You know, we know a lot about what is water-based and what is solvent-based and what is oil-based and how to apply these products. And again, try to stay in your lane. I mean, I know it's your property and it's your business, and I know you want it to look good. We look you in the eye every day and try to help you with those things. But at the end of the day, you got to really know and understand your limitations, and you're not going to get out an ink stain out of the carpet. you're not going to get out some things that maybe have went into that fiber. So Dennis Campbell, Chem-Dry of Allen County, where we clean for your health like no one else can. Hope you get some value out of this video. If you do, please let us know if you liked it or not, and if you have some tips for future videos, please send me an email to deepest.clean@gmail.com. God bless.